For some strange reason, we humans love fear. There are countless terrifying books followed by even more scary movies. Emily, please, no, not right now. I'm recording an episode. Yeah, honey, don't be mad. I'm going to cook you dinner. Just give me 10 more minutes to finish the episode, then I'm going to make some nice dinner. Okay? Love you. Okay. Our profound love for fear boils down to one holiday, a nation tradition that has its roots in Christian beliefs and practices and spiraled into festivities of consumerism, drunk teenagers, and celebrity costume standoffs. But there should be scary. The scarier, the better. Of course, we're talking about Halloween. In the next episode, we will analyze all scientific findings on why a good dose of fear is crucial for our survival, how evolution played a crucial role in our taste for the scary, and why books and movies enchanted generations, and why good old "oh Jesus, you scared it out of me" is actually good for us. Because this is Fabric of Life, a show where we dig deeper into science and art to answer humanity's most difficult question. And this Halloween, the question is a special one. Why do we enjoy fear? I'm Vladislav Radak, writer and mathematician. Let me take you on an adventure. Palm sweat, heartbeat quickens, muscles tense, your skin prickles and your stomach churns. When fear decreases, we can be left with feelings of pleasure? Is it just that relief of having survived, or is it something more? Apparently, there is relatively simple scientific explanation for this. Adrenaline boosts the body's alertness. It speeds up the heart rate and diverts blood from the core to the muscles needed for the movement. Cortisol rises blood pressure. Blood vessels around vital organs dilate, flooding them with oxygen and nutrients. Breathing quickens, delivering fresh oxygen to the brain, while levels of glucose in the blood spike, giving the body a quick energy boost. Ready for the action. Our reaction to fear is really powerful mechanism that triggers the fight or flight mechanism involving many to science still unknown processes. But let's start from the beginning. The amygdala, an almond-shaped bundle of neurons deep in the center of our brain, controls the fear response. In a fearful situation, the amygdala stimulates the hypothalamus, which activates two systems in the body, the sympathetic nervous system and the adrenal cortical system, causing a flash flood of hormones and triggering the fight or flight response. Dr. Charlotte Lawrenson, a neuropsychiatrist at Bristol University, says that there are two layers of reactions in our network of neural fear that eventually influences our behavior. When we are exposed to sensory stimuli, environment that is potentially threatening, two pathways are activated in the brain. The first is fast. Information transferred to the sensory thalamus and then to amygdala allows our immediate action on this threatening stimuli. This is when you jump in your seat or even scream. Woo! Yeah, that one. The second is slower, indirect route. Information is sent to the thalamus of the cortex, the outermost layer of the brain associated with consciousness, reasoning, and memory. This analyzes the threat and allows us to determine whether we are in the real danger.
Them M&M's good?
This is the time when you realize it was all senseless prank by your friends or well-executed shot in a movie. But in some occasions, this threat could be real. If the threat is determined to be real, other areas of the brain will be activated to initiate the whole body response to the danger. This includes the periaqueductal gray, which coordinates the anteroceptive, autonomic, and behavioral reactions to stress and injury, blocking the detection of pain by sensory neurons and kickstarting the involuntary physiological processes and responding action. This is where humans do better than most other mammals, and what researchers believe lies the key to our evolution. The memory of the danger will be transferred and stored in the hippocampus, so we are able to identify the threat at the next encounter. Eventually, with development of speech and written word, we were able to pass the fear down to generations of humans after us. This is why we developed a taste for collective fears. Fear is an ancient emotion, and scary stories are ingrained in human history. In early societies, fear-inducing tales were used to teach children about the dangers they might encounter, such as wolves and other predators. After tales, books came into place, our subconscious fears intrigued magicians of pen and paper, and they were able to enchant millions of people with our rational and irrational primal individual and collective fears. From Brothers Grimm Hansel and Gretel to Dracula from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, scary stories not only helped us deal with our everyday anxiety, but reshaped the culture and art that we still enjoy today. When I was on a high school trip, I encountered immense amount of fear through a vivid hallucination that didn't leave my mind for the next couple of years. The only way that I could deal with it is to write a novel about it. Wild and scary illusions left my brain, but what I got in return was a novel that was read by thousands of people that somehow enjoyed my fears. Did you read it? Did you like it? Do you want me to read it to you how everything started? Okay. The painful silver pricks of light disappear for a moment and I'm swallowed by a darkness. Ideas crucify me. They're tearing me apart. I don't want to die. Not tonight. I hear an unmistakable scream coming down the hall, the one that is covered with fine, thin, gold-patterned carpet. The scream is spontaneous, real, filled with fear, surprise and pain. Someone sees their own blood. Someone is aware they're dying. Today, cinema offers a window into society's collective fears. In the 1954 sci-fi film Godzilla was created by nuclear radiation, revealing the shared anxiety about the Second World War atomic attacks. In March of 2020, when the pandemic went into hyperdrive, downloads of the movie Contagion about the deadly pandemic surged. But why did people want to watch a horror film about something so real to them at that point in time? An associate professor at Denmark Aarhus University Maldorf Andersson researches the cognitive process involved in play and learning. He said spending time in those fictional realms can almost be taught as opportunity to draft up your own instruction book for worst case scenarios. A study on horror fans during the COVID pandemic found out that people who enjoyed watching scary films were more psychologically resilient than non-horror fans. Through safe yet realistic scenarios that we relive through art like books or movies, we build our own resilience towards scary situations that might await us in the real world. In fact, researchers at Exeter University say that when children's play involves risk and fear, it can function as a protective factor against anxiety. Play, to the point, is a strategy for learning how to deal with unfamiliar situations and making the unpredictable predictable. But can a good scary become too scary? How we can feel that prank went too far or the horror movie was a little bit too much for our friends or us? Researchers believe there is a sweet spot. To investigate the relationship between enjoyment and fear, Maldorf Andersson and his colleagues at Aarhus University Recreational Fear Lab studied a group of people who went to a haunted house visitor attraction. There, a guest voluntarily signed up to be terrified by a brain-munching zombies, chainsaw-wielding maniacs, and child-eating murderers. The researchers filmed the guests, monitored their heart rates, and asked them how they felt at various points during the experience. The results suggest there might be a sweet spot between fear and enjoyment, a just right spot where the context is not too terrifying but not too tame either. This sweet spot seems to be where enjoyment is maximized. At that spot, a flood of fear quickly followed by relief results in the release of feel-good chemicals, the brain endorphins, the dopamine, rewarding you with a rush of euphoria. This can explain the crazy popularity of Halloween, one of many Asian traditions that explores our limits of fear and enjoyment, preparing us for real disasters and making us even more resilient and empathic.
So fear is good for you in small doses. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. See you next week. Until then, stay tuned and curious, and don't forget, libraries still exist.